is let's talk about this rental car deal, because it's like the mystery, right? When I rent a car, should I get their insurance or should I use my own insurance? And ultimately, based on the things we were discussing, I think it's really interesting. There may be benefits to using their insurance.
There's pros and cons. Let's back up a little bit and your auto policy, whatever your limits are, whatever your deductibles are, when you rent a vehicle from Hertz or Enterprise, that is what's following you.
So those apply.
Those apply.
Now, here's one of the myths, okay, urban legend about insurance and rent-a-cars. Is it true that only liability coverage gets carried over?
Yes, if that's all you have on your main policy.
But if I have a full policy on my cars, everything carries over?
That's another myth. There is no such thing as full coverage.
Okay.
So let's get rid of these myths.
So hope you're listening out
debunking
there.
the myths here.
Well, no, because a lot of people say I have full coverage, and when we ask them, well, what does that mean? They go, well, I don't know. A lot of people think that liability, comprehensive, and collision is full coverage. They forget about uninsured motorists. They forget about medical payments, towing, rental car coverage, death, dismemberment. I mean, there's so many things
Actually,
that you
I
can
think
add.
I have all the above.
You can add so many things to your auto policy that in reality nobody really has full coverage. So that is a myth. You have to be careful. Going back to the rental car coverage, if you have liability, comp, and collision, you rent a vehicle, then you're fully covered on that rental vehicle. And you have to check with your carriers, because some carriers will not extend that coverage. Most of them will. So if you get in an accident with that rental car, you had a $1,000 deductible on your own policy, that's what it's going to cost you to pay Enterprise or whoever it is. You're going to pay them $1,000, then the carrier is going to pay the difference.
See, I bet you out there, you probably don't even think about this. I have insurance, but there's a big deductible that you have to be concerned with. And you can feel confident that don't feel I'm going to get in an accident, and therefore you're rolling the dice as most of us do. But,
right.
But there's pros and cons, because you could actually utilize their insurance, but you also mentioned a credit card option.
Right.
I'm probably jumping ahead. Huh?
That's okay. But if you end up using the insurance that they offer you, the rental company, then there's three types. You can buy the liability, you can buy the comp, and the collision, or you can buy any of those or none of those. The advantage is that if you use them and you're involved in an accident, it doesn't affect your insurance, so technically it should not show up on your record. Whereas if you use your insurance on that rental car, it's going to show up.
Now, hold on one second. So my question is, if you have an accident, doesn't that show up on your DMV record?
On the liability portion, yes. On the comp and the collision, if you're using their insurance, your carrier didn't pay anything out, it's not going to affect you.
So it might not affect you down the road.
Correct.
Okay.
And then based on your credit card, whether it's a Visa or a MasterCard, American Express, there's provisions in there that will cover rental car deductibles. So you need to check with your credit card to see if maybe there's money there that's covered.
Oh, that's
I never
a good
even
idea.
thought about that. I never even thought about finding out what they'll cover, because I know like it's same thing with like if you purchase your tickets or there's some insurance,
right?
You know, with that type of stuff.
I have first-hand experience in Hawaii. I was involved in a little fender bender.
Hit a pineapple truck?
I don't know. I was sightseeing and driving, and
it's pretty easy to do in Hawaii.
And my Visa paid the deductible.
Oh, really?
Excellent. Okay.
So you know it does work.
Oh, yeah, it works.
It was nice of you, Carlos, to test it out for all of us.
Yeah, thanks. According to my wife,
this is a great insurance person that, you know, Carlos Villalobos Insurance. He will actually test this stuff out for you and get in an accident abroad while renting a car to make sure that it actually works if you purchase it with your Visa. That's very nice of you.
Well, remember, Hawaii is part of the United States.
Yes.
So that's
it's
another.
Still abroad.
Yes, but that's a good thing. What happens if you're in Europe?
I don't know.
Does your policy cover you? And the only way to find out is talk to your agent. Make sure that there's coverage when you're outside of the United States, because that could be another loophole. That you might be thinking, hey, if it covered me in Hawaii, it's going to cover me in London. That may not be the case.
Oh, that's a good point. Good point. Good topics. Very, very good information. I think we have your first video for your APRG site.
Oh, thank you.
All right, so that's just one of the topics, and I'm sure a lot of you out there were wondering, should I take the insurance when I rent a car? Now you at least have the pros and